Peace, Morris. We just here down at the Phoenix Stadium. I want to start off by saying love, truth, freedom, and justice. My 2 cents, health and wealth. But Morris, we are businessmen, and I just want like to let my students that talking shit to me tickets donated to our organization, the Burning Bush Tabernacle Science Temple and School. We get 50 tickets donated to each home game, and I give them out to my students, man. So it's real work that's being done when a person don't understand that they are a business. They don't understand true navigation. When I say, if a person asking you something, you shouldn't be afraid to show them. If they say, okay, man, well, how are you navigating in your city? We're talking about, the thing a lot of brothers be talking about is arguing over misnomers and names. When they talk about, the currency is fiat, it's this, that, and the other. Well, okay, well, if you live on this earth plane, you need the fiat currency. So when brothers saying things, it really doesn't make sense, But all I talk about is levels and degrees of things, and some people are just maybe on one level of wisdom and not on a higher level of degree, and that involves business and understanding the essence and dynamics of what a nonprofit is and what it can do in your community, how it can change the dynamics in your neighborhood, as far as education, scientific, historical, charitable. You can do real things in the community, and I'm telling you, man, it's no joke. And how, like I said, I'm going back to Flint, Michigan in July, and I'm gonna show you how a lot of the area that nobody wanted, they call it blight, and they call it the hardest hit area. And funds was given to my organization, and it's called the Hardest Hit Fund grant that the cities give. And we got a lot of old houses in our neighborhood that they're tore down, and we got the land. And with Allah's prayers and with my family that's helping, that's donating, we're gonna make it happen to where we don't. How are we gonna complain about something and we're the answer, and we're the question and the answer and the solution, and you can create. And so I want to thank all my family and friends that's donating, man. Especially even my new the brothers and sisters that's a part of the school that donate $50 a month, and they get all the wisdom and all the books, all the literature. Yes, we ask for a donation, because when you see the literature that we print and that we distribute to our students, it's a fraction of the price that you get online. Also, the books that we gathered and compiled. But man, there's no reason to argue about the educational system and what somebody is and what somebody's not teaching, and false history. If you're able to do it yourself and to organize, that is your legal right, man. So it really ain't nothing to argue about, if you really think about it. Where you come from historical, and where you come from business. When I tell brothers and sisters, how are we gonna do things and change the dynamics in our community if all we're gonna do is argue about what a 501c3 is and what it is and what it's not, and really break down and have a conversation with brothers and sisters that have organizations in their communities, in Detroit, in Flint, in all these other areas, and they show you the things that they're doing in their community, having gardens and agriculture, and showing our young Moorish men and our young children how to do garden and agriculture, understanding history and things. That's what this is all about. Not arguing over some old history and then it's not manifesting on this material earth plane. I mean, I'm serious, man. That's really what this science is about, is understanding who you are historically, understanding the sciences and using it. Because one thing that you can bet your last dollar on is mathematics and numbers. Man-made religion is nothing. That's what keeps us separate, because we can always argue over ism or a dogmatic perspective, but when we talk about history and science, that's agreed upon internationally. When we talk about history and science, and so that's what we do as scientists and as doctors. We don't practice malpractice to our brothers and sisters when we get caught up in someone's religion and catchphrases talking about, oh, 501c3 is some white man, this, that, and the other. And I say, well, brothers, are they operating as a business? Do they know how the temple is set up? It don't make sense, man. If you're really not sitting down doing research. And like certain language, like sole priorityship. Say if you have funds and you go in your community thinking you're gonna change your community with your own funds and you don't have a nonprofit, that's sole priorityship. That means that's everything is you. You're not a nonprofit. You're not doing community service for the people. You're not able to get charitable contributions and things to not only change the dynamics of your community, you know? So it's really certain things that we should know. It's really certain things that we should know, man. From a business perspective and from a historical perspective, man, when I speak, it ain't to be upset or bash no man-made religion, but it's to prove that history and science trumps anything, man. How you doing? And when I talk about business, man, I show and prove. Like, I'm going to get my bag out of my car, but right now, I'm getting ready to go to the EOS Fitness. I'm downtown Arizona and train some people through our More Power fitness and training. You know, I charge certain people to do that, but also I got a grant and I teach, youth healthy eating and living and things. And this is how we can change things in our community, especially like brothers and sisters. I say when we building a nation, brothers that have those skills, we can teach that to our kids under the auspices of nonprofit and get those grants and teach a certain level of expertise under the right auspices, man. And we can do that. And so what we doing, just getting out of false teaching and Eurocentric propaganda, man, and coming from a real perspective where it's no reason to diss anything. It's no reason to diss history and no biblical things if we don't know them. All we're supposed to do is be scientists and doctors and prove the point. Like, look, the images that you're given are all false. Nowhere is written that said these are the images, but I can show you in Cairo the pictures of the Joshua and the so-called disciples, and they definitely not European. And these are things that they keep locked up from you, you know? And so once we understand history, man, and once we understand real business and not get caught up in our feelings with someone, how can I say it, giving us catchphrases and getting us caught up in like dogmatic things, we'll be okay, Morris. Oh, I'm sorry about that. But we'll be okay. I promise you, man. If we really sit down as scholars and build bridges and say, look, man, we can do this, man, from a scholarly perspective and get things done the right way, man. When I talk about a lot of things in history, and the lecture is going to be today, I say about 5:30, we're going to have a cottage meeting. I got a couple people coming over to my office today, my personal office, and we're just going to talk about a couple things, man. We're going to, hold on one second, Morris. Let's see, do I got one more thing in here? I want to, what I got? What's this? Oh, okay, never mind. That's that light shining bright out here in Arizona, man. It's like, shoot, I think it's like 80-something degrees today, man. But what we doing today, man, is we're gonna review some history, and I challenge all my brothers and sisters just to study, what we're saying, and really research things and remove the veil of dogma. When I talk about levels of things, when the reason why I would never get in an argument or anything with my brother and sister about their religious perspective, because that's what keep us separated, Sorry about that, family. I'm doing a couple things. I just wanted to holler at y'all while I'm waiting for a couple of my students. But yeah, man, this is another one of our more power, strength and conditioning. And we also have it to where we can go into schools and teach the kids. And we do it in a lot of the communities where people not going and teaching the kids. And we just write up as in-kind service. And that's how we're able to go into the schools and go to the communities and teach our babies, man. And if you're in Arizona, man, and if you're not, man, the donation, you donate to us just like any other organization, and we're real. This is nothing for myself. I spend my own finances on a lot of things. But the lectures today, man, is some things that they didn't teach you in history school, man. When we really talk about the slave ship of Jesus, of Lubeck, which Lubeck is off what? Germany. And we got to understand who gave John Hawkins, the finances to go do what he did, and how he captured all those so-called slaves. We're gonna review the history of Kwade Ikwana, Oldaudah, Ikwana, Equano. His own writings. He was a slave from London, and I'm gonna show you from biblical history, from researchers that deal with carbon, that deal with the blood and the bones and things, and prove that Gad is the Igbo is the Jew. You know, and we're gonna talk about the Yososomos code. When we talk about palindrome word. When we talk about Haya, when you have Yah to the right and Yah to the left. And it's just certain things we have to do, man. I mean, and we talk about that false image of Caesar Borgia, because there's nowhere written that was the picture, but you got to understand the story and who commissioned them to draw a figure. Historically, you can research the books, man. You can get the history of Caesar Borgia, and I'm gonna give you a little wisdom of that. When I tell you, like, genetically, it's not a such thing as an Arab, and this is coming from their pen. You can research the history from a book called The Arab, the story of the people who have left their deep impress on the world, by Bertrand Thomas. This was written back in 1973. You can research the history of the American Indians by James Adair. This was written in 1775, and we're gonna touch on this history, man, today about 5:30 or 6. But I challenge you, man, not to be afraid of business, man. That's my whole thing that really baffles me with brothers and sisters when they talk about business and they diss business. And my question be to them, well, how are you gonna do things in your community? How are you gonna change your community if you don't understand the dynamics of business? Somebody talk to me. How are you gonna get the plight in your community? How are you gonna do anything worth value if you don't understand that you are a business? And if you don't understand contract law and understand about being a contractor. Like, for instance, I see so many Negro, black, and colors arguing over in their community when they see other nationalities getting contracts to come in their community and tear down blight. And I say, well, there's no reason to complain if you don't have contractor's license to get those things. But we argue over things that don't even make sense, man. And I say we have to understand business and do business in our community and understand commerce. That's the only way we're going to get something, man. That's the only way we're going to get something, is understanding that we are business and spend money with ourselves. Spend money, create our own clothing and things, man. And that's what me and myself and my youth do. Oh, let me show you. I forgot to show you the hats. I almost forgot the hats. They would have been mad at me going all the way in there and forgot their hats. Everything we wear, man, we create, man. Like, we get stuff bulk and we create our own wear, man. That's what we do. But let me show you the hats of my youth. And I almost forgot the fellas' hats, man. They would have been so ticked. Let me show y'all something, fellas, before we roll out. Show y'all some of the hats that my youth come up. This their concepts. M.A.M. That's Moorish American Muslim. They got the shirts and everything, man. The match, they got the hoodies. Another one, he said they're not NWA. He said they're not niggas with attitude. He said they NWA, Moors with aptitude. Look what aptitude mean. I mean, this is the things that we rock, man. So we don't complain about things. We have our own brand. And so when I see brothers and sisters complaining over things, I'm like, we waste our dollars on other things and with other people that don't give a damn about you. And when I say there's no reason to argue about things, we can create. We can create anything we need, man. And that's why I be laughing at brothers when they say they don't have the resources, and I look in their closet and I be like, well, how many pair of gym shoes you have? We talk about access. So if there's things that you is passionate about, you do have the funds. If you have a multiple of things, it's just where's the focus at, man? And these are the conversations, like I said, my different affiliations and things when they have think tanks and we talk about Silicon Valley and they come up with ideas and things to way to generate funds. And most of the concepts are things that what we already created, but we're not utilizing it. We just arguing over religion, man. For real, man. I just picked up these tickets, man, from down here, and every time I go down here, they always ask me, "Is it your organization?" Absolutely. You know. But brothers and sisters don't understand. When I go and ask for donations, when I wear my suit and I go down to the Chamber of Commerce, I'm gonna start showing things where a lot of organizations, they will donate to you if you operate in the right way. They know what Moors is. They know what this science is. I mean, it was just recorded all through history. We just haven't been revealed to it. Don't y'all know Stevie Wonder wrote a song? And you can look it up. And I'm gonna play it. I might play it today before our lecture. And when it says in 1492 about how the European came here, and then it's talk about, and then he says, and educated by the Moors. I mean, you can document so much of the history, man. It's been there forever. But we operate on love, truth, peace, freedom, justice, and my 2 cents more is health and wealth, man. I'm just politicking with y'all while I walk to the gym to meet my clients, man. That's all. Show you that this is the real life, man. This ain't no fake thing, and we're noble men. We're law-abiding citizens. It ain't no secret society or nothing. Ain't nothing secret society about science and wisdom, man. And knowing who you are. Historically, scientifically, all across the board. You should know these things. But I love you all, family. Tune in at, I say, around 5:30 for the historical lecture. I love you all. Love, truth, peace, freedom, justice. My 2 cents more. Health and wealth. Peace.